0. Hello, Weekend Warriors. Welcome back to the workshop. Welcome to the Quarantine Homeschooling Science Edition of the Weekend Warriors Workshop. As you see, we're in the kitchen because where else do you do science every day? And you can see I'm here with my able-bodied assistant, Matilda. And, well, today what we're going to do is we're going to make beignets. And they're really, really easy. You don't need any special equipment, even though we got to use some of our kitchen gadgets today. But you'll find out that it's fun, it's easy, and it's a simple recipe. As a matter of fact, here's the result of our simple recipe. This is one recipe. This thing will make 30 beignets, and we made it last night. And what we're going to do is we're going to do about half of it because, well, the Weekend Warrior doesn't need a lot of beignets.
Yes, we do.
So, anyway, what about the recipe? Oh, yeah, the recipe came off of the King Arthur website. It works so well that this is the one I always use when we do this. So, the recipe contains, Matilda?
Half a cup of lukewarm water, half a cup of lukewarm milk, 2 tablespoons butter melted, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1/4 cup granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons salt, 4 cups flour, and 2 teaspoons instant yeast.
And what did we do different? Instead of the lukewarm water we added?
Evaporated milk.
We used evaporated milk because that makes them even sweeter and lets them puff up even better. So, we'll put this off to the side. This will go into our recipe book because that's where we put our recipes. And we're going to move the camera about and we're going to roll things out and get things started. So, hang on, it won't take long. 0. Okay, here we are, our large cutting board. Matilda has already put flour on it so our dough won't stick. And now she's going to dump the dough out onto it. And would you give us a knife, please? All right, and as I said, I'm going to half the recipe here. And I'll probably end up freezing the rest. Let me get this adjusted.
Can I cut it?
Yeah, go ahead. Right down the middle. Okay, put half of that away.
Okay.
Back into the bag. And we'll hold on to that.
So I'm going to go put it in the freezer?
Not just yet. Okay, so as I said, we made this recipe last night. And I took it out at about 4 o'clock this morning. Just so it would soften up. I didn't need to take it out quite that early, but I was up anyway. So, all right. So now we're just going to roll it out, and we're going to roll it out until it's about 1/4 inch thick. And this isn't like pizza dough that will stretch out and then it'll retract. It once you roll it out, it stays rolled out. Okay, our dough is already rolled out. Matilda here has used a cookie cutter. We're kind of breaking the beignet rules here. She used a cookie cutter and made a star for our test one. So I'm going to drop the basket into our fryer. Once again, you don't have to have a fryer. You can do this with a pan and oil. This is just a little easier to control the temperature of the oil.
Put it in that.
No. You just easily drop it in. Hold it by the edge. And then drop it in, and there you go. All right. So it's dropped in, and let me give you a better view of the oil here.
Whoa! It already popped up.
Okay. And our star-shaped beignet has popped up to the surface. And it's going to sit there. If you could catch the angle, we can see that it is puffing up nicely right now.
And it's holding its shape.
And it's holding its shape, too. So we're gonna let it, it's browning up on the edges, so we're going to give it a turn. And it should give us a nice puffy shape here anytime now.
Then I get to eat it.
You can eat it in a few minutes. Okay, go get the plate with the paper towels. Okay. So we're going to turn it a couple times. You can see it's got a nice big fat spot in the middle of it. So if this was a square beignet, it would puff up beautifully. So we're going to drain it off a little bit. drop it onto our... So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a few stars, and we're going to do a few squares.
Okay.
Now, stop.
I do half and half.
Okay. So to do the squares, I just use a normal pizza cutter. And I make them about 2 inches by 2 inches. So I'm going to separate the dough.
Can I help with this?
0. Okay, we've got our squares cut out. We've got our stars cut out. Now it's just time to fry. It worked good enough. See? So I wanted to see 3 of them into the batter. 1, 2. Batter, I meant oil. 3. You can do 1 more. And don't drop them from so high. Get them started down into it first. So you get it a little bit in and drop it, and it won't splash on you.
It almost did.
It almost did.
That one I think can be flipped. The squares puff really nicely.
Yeah, that's why beignets are square.
Mickey ones aren't.
Well, we don't have a Mickey beignet former.
We have a star one.
We do have a star one. And you're going to drop stars in next, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have a plate of lovely beignets. They're nice, they're fluffy, they're fat. And we're going to break a beignet rule here. We're going to fill them. And one of our favorite fillings is a nice lemon curd, which my wife has made here. And I've got a piping bag with a straight tip, small straight tip on it. And all we're going to do is we're going to stab that little straight tip into the side, and we're going to give it a squeeze.
Until it pops out?
Until it pops out a little bit. Okay, no, I've got to do the squeezing, please.
I do the ones that...
Later. Okay. So, give that one a squeeze. I'm going to give it a little bit more.
Okay.
Yes, please. You hand me the beignets.
It's coming out the side.
Whoops. Uh-oh.
I
I got a bag rip. Okay, that one's going to be a powdered sugar. Okay, you can have these 3. Yes. I've got some powdered sugar because I don't have a tea strainer. So Sienna is now going to, pardon me, Matilda is now going to, okay, you don't have to beat it to death. And now we have a beautiful little plate of beignets. And Matilda can go eat them before she starts music lessons.
Thank you.
And now it's just a matter of figuring out how many I'm going to fill and how many I'm going to leave plain. And you don't need to see that. So, this is our science lesson for the weekend. Everybody take care of yourselves. I know this is a rough time, but do the best you can to take advantage of the time you get with your family. So, until I see you again, you guys keep up the good fight, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.